Tia, Clayton, Ackeem, Blake, Roshawn, Clarke, given these outstanding performances and others at the recently held Velocity Festival. It may be safe to say, this early in the outdoor season, that Jamaica is certainly heading in the right direction. One might even say Jamaican athletes, these at least, are back. People, welcome back to the channel. If this is your first time here, thank you for making it Peter Lloyd World. Go ahead, please hit the subscribe button so we continue to grow. Do that, hit the notification bell so you know when the next video drops. You drop a video you want to hear Peter Lloyd World. Also, if you enjoy the content, please hit that like button and finally leave your thoughts. So, ready? Yeah, good to go. Well, we are gearing up for the ISA Boys and Girls Champs 2025, and I know many people are super excited. But before we get into that, which takes place in roughly 36 hours from now, let's take a look at the young Jamaican athletes who will be representing the island at the CLARKE Games 2025. Clearly, two of the big stars who will be running in both the under 20 girls 100 and 200 meters are none other than Shanoya Douglas and Sabrina Dockery. Dockery, of course, representing for Lacovia High, and Shanoya Douglas representing for Mushet High.
Ahead of the field, expecting Shanoya Douglas to come, but Dockery ahead of Douglas. Dockery will take it.
So let's take a look at the young ladies who will be representing the island at the upcoming CLARKE Games. In the female under 20 in the 100 meters, it will be Adora Campbell and Shanoya Smith. While, of course, in the female under 20, that is 100 meters, it will be none other than, we just said it, Sabrina Dockery and Shanoya Douglas. In the female under 20 for the 200 meters, it will be Rihanna Scott and Shauna Wilson. While in the 200 meters for the under 20 will be also Shanoya Douglas and Sabrina Dockery. For the 400 meters under 17 will be Shamika McLean and Tracy Ann Evans. On the 20 will be Siobhan Thomas and Abrina Wright. The girls on the 17 will be, this is for the 800 meters, Ali K. Reynolds and Kevona Gay Fowler. For the under 20 for the 800 meters will be Jovi Rose and Cindy Rose. And meanwhile, in the under 20, 17, apologies, 1500 meters will also be Kevona Gay Fowler, and Danica Palmer on the 20. In the 1500 meters will be repped by Sydney Rose and Shoshana Johnson. Shoshana Johnson and Ashara Freighter will compete in the 300 meters for the under 20. There are no under 17 girls for the 3000 meters. Now in the 100-meter hurdles, for the under 17 girls will be Malaya Duncan and Nicalia Russell. Under 20 will be Tiana Marshall and Brianna Davidson. 400-meter hurdles, in the under 17 category, we have one person representing Leja Carty, and in the under 20 will be Siobhan Thomas and Rihanna Lewis. In the long jump, under 17, Tishani Armstrong and Shakoya Palmer. We have one person representing the island in the long jump under 20, and that is Rohanna Sudlow, apologies. And finally, in the high jump under 17 will be Zavine Bernard and Shakoya Palmer, and in the under 20 will be Danielle Noble and Shaquina Williams. Now, the headliners in terms of the young men will be, of course, Wilmot High School's Gary Card, and representing from Calabar High School, Shaquane Gordon, who, of course, did this earlier in the season.
And here's a clean start this time on a quick one. Girls are staying in place. Where's our USATF high school? Let's go, get on the track. USATF boys, 60-meter.
Representing our beautiful island of Jamaica in the under 1700 meters, Jaden Collins and Michael Graham. Under 20 will be, of course, Gary Card and Shaquane Gordon. In the 200 meters, Jaden Collins and Callie Archibald. Meanwhile, the under 20 reps in the 200 meters will be Tyrese Foreman and Antonio Howell. 400 meters, Roshawn Richards and Dwayne Sharp. This is the under 17 reps. In the under 20 for the 400 meters will be Taj Marcus White and Marchino Rose. 800 meters on the 17 reps will be Luke Plummer and Johannes Carty. On the 20 in the 800 meters will be Siobhan Jarrett and Joel Morgan. The 1500 meters, only one rep in the under 17 will be Carvel Nooks, and only one rep in the 1500 meters under 20 will be Joel Morgan. No one will be representing the island on the behalf of the men in the 3000 meters. In the 110 meters hurdle and the 100 meters hurdle, on the 17 will be Brandon Bennett and Mark Daniel Allen. On the 20 will be Daniel Clarke and Shaquane Gordon. No surprise there. 400 meter hurdles will be on the 17 reps will be Jaden Campbell and Shane Porter. On the 20 will be Princewell Martin and Robert Miller. Long jump on the 17 men will be Amani Phillips and Michael Graham. On the 20 will be Michael Andre Edwards and Ricoy Hunter. And finally, for the high jump, one rep for the under 17 will be Shebethel Johnson. I hope I pronounced this young man's name correctly. And on the 20 in the long jump, we will have two reps, Chavez Penn and Aaron McKenzie. Now, why did I take the time out to name all these youngsters? People, this is a big deal. They're going to represent the island at the Carifta Games 2025, and I want to say kudos and congrats to these youngsters. Just being able to represent the island is a big deal for them, and I wanted to ensure I call each and every name. Now I'm expecting
even turns with Hodge, and it is these two into the straight. Douglas fighting with the inside lane of America for third, but Hodge now pulling away from Tori Lewis. He upgrades that silver to a gold medal in this 200 meters.
And I suspect we will do, as we often do, very, very well at this year's Carifta Games 2025. Congrats to all the youngsters and their coaches and schools.
Introducing Peter Lloyd World merchandise, where style meets comfort. From trendy tees to cozy hoodies, we've got something for everyone. Elevate your wardrobe with our high-quality, fashionable designs that make a statement. Whether you're hitting the streets or chilling at home, Peter Lloyd World has you covered. Shop now and upgrade your look with Peter Lloyd World merchandise. Available exclusively at Peter Lloyd World. Link in description below.
So in case you've been living under a rock, I'm joking, or you are totally unaware, I can tell you that officially the outdoor season has definitely started, and two of the big guns have already ran their first races for the season. One of the big guns, I'm not talking about Jamaicans now, is none other than Fred Curley. Fred Curley in the men's 100 meters at the Paris Olympic Games walked away with the bronze medal. And if you remember, he did run a time of 9.81, which I still keep saying the person I'm most concerned about if he gets back to form is really Fred Curley. No diss to no allies, and no one don't like when I say it, but I'm just trying to be honest here. The idea of this channel is for us to speak honestly, and I'm just saying Fred Curley back at his best is a real serious problem. Well, Fred Curley has opened his 2025 season. USC Track and Field posted this to their social media pages. Fred Curley runs 10.23 to open his season, running into a minus 0.5 wind. That means he was running towards the finishing line and the wind was blowing against him, so it was slowing down.
They are off. Fred Curley in the middle. Nicadia staying with him. Nicadia running with Curley. Curley runs a 10.23. Nicadia 10.26.
10-2-3 is a nice way to start your season. Let's see what Fred Curley brings throughout the season if he's not injured. Like I said, he's the American I am most concerned about in the men's 100 meters. And I know you're all going to say you're nuts. Obviously, it should be Noah Lyles. But we've had that conversation ad nauseum. In fact, what I think I'm going to do is do a whole special where I completely explain my perspective on Noah Lyles to all of you. But 10-23 is an interesting way to open your season. Now, another super talent who opened her season in the women's 100 meters hurdles is Jasmine Camacho Quinn. Remember, she walked away with the bronze medal at the Paris Olympic Games, and she did say in that interview she'd done with that podcast with Justin Gatlin, she said she had sort of just meandered through the year and walked away with a bronze, and that made me sit up and think, if we are to believe her, yeah. But plus we know that Jasmine Camacho Quinn is serious talent anyway. She posted this: walked at 12.8 yesterday. Cheers to a new season. Walked at 12.8. The women's 100 meters hurdles. People, that's a serious time. Yeah, that's not a joke time. Anyway. Especially as a season open. It's an interesting time to open your season. Let's take a look at the race. Yep. Walked at 12.8 in the women's 100 meters hurdles to open her season. Big up to Jasmine Camacho Quinn. So let's get to the meat of the matter. So at the Velocity Fest on the weekend, I was covering several other meets, and of course including World Indoors. And you know me, I like to analyze and take a look at. Now at the Velocity Fest 2025, number 16, we had some very, very interesting things that happened that I think we have a few lessons to learn from, and a couple of things that we can really take into account. Now, the truth is, this is really our first real... this is a further indication that the outdoor season has started for the pros. So these weren't 60s they were running, they were running 200s, 400s, 100 meters. And some of the athletes, I thought, did exceptionally well. Now, let me just say this: Oblique Seville won his 200 meters. No surprise there. That's a great look, but we'll talk about him in a whole different other video. But I want to cover this, and in particular, I want to focus on Tia Clayton's 200 meters and what I got from the new personal best that she set. But first, let's take a look at another super talented. This, of course, young man is in the 400 meters hurdles. I think one of the most talented youngsters out there. In the men's 400 meters, Roshawn Clarke set a new personal best in one of his first races, if not his season opener, outdoors for the 2025 season. This, of course, was in the flat 400 meters. Now, I thought this was really interesting because we've been seeing him run 400 meters for obvious reasons. Roshawn Clarke won in a new personal best of 44.98, sub 45. This, I think, is a big deal. Now, this was in the 400 meter final A. In second place was DeAndre Watkin, who ran 45.59, the season's best, and Javar Brown, came third in a time of 45.1. That's 45.62. Very, very impressive by young Roshawn Clarke.
Watkin is trying to rally. The rest of the field also trying to come forward, but it's Clarke holding strong. Watkin is in second. Shafir Paul runs a big race.
44.98 in one of your first, if not your first 400 meters for the entire 2025 season is no laughing matter as a PB, but we'll talk about that towards the end of the video. Big up to Roshawn Clarke. Ackeem Blake took on Zarnell Hughes and gave us a heck of a race. In the end, Ackeem Blake won in a season's best. Yes, in a season's best of 10.06. That's a huge deal, people. That is a huge deal. With Zarnell Hughes also running a very impressive 10.14. Both, of course, were season openers. In third place was Adrian Kerr, who ran 10.29 to take that third spot.
Ackeem Blake, here comes Zarnell Hughes. Ackeem Blake.
We were also treated to Toby Amusan, the world record holder in the women's 100 meters hurdles, who is now training with Racers Track Club, putting on a show alongside Serena Cole. Amusan, of course, is working on improving that flat speed over the 100 meters, which will make her even more dangerous in the women's 100 meters hurdles. She ran a season's best in the 100 meters, 11.28 seconds to get the win from Serena Cole, who took second in the season's best, also of 11.45 seconds.
Emerson running brilliantly now. Sean trying to come through. Emerson has been beat. The world record holder.
Then, of course, there's Tia Clayton, who ran a new personal best in the women's 200 meters, her first of the 2025 season, taking second to Shade Williams of Barbados. Shade Williams won this in 23.10, season's best, with Tia Clayton taking second in a personal best time of 23.11. That's how close this was. Kevin Nelson came third in 23.42, season's best.
Starting to tell, but Clayton is holding on. Clear Clayton from Shade Williams. Look at the finish. Oh, that's tight. 23-1.
Hello, variety. New.
Now, this, of course, is my 2 cents. Let's first take a look at Roshawn Clarke. One of the lessons we have learned from his new personal best in the men's 400 meters of 44.98, his first sub 45. Okay, so this is his first 400 meters as far as I'm aware for the 2025 season. If not, it can't be more than his second. Running a new personal best in the flat 400 meters for Roshawn Clarke is a huge deal, plus a sub 45 in terms of its impact on his 400 meters hurdles, which is really his baby. That's his sweet spot in terms of track and field. The faster he gets over the flat 4 is the stronger and faster he will get over the 400 meters. You do know that many great 400 meter runners, case in point, Sidney McLaughlin is also an incredible flat 400 meter runner. So running a sub 45, a 44.98, is a massive accomplishment at the very beginning of his opening season. If he remains healthy, and let's say he continues on this trajectory, we are looking at someone who's going to be running some serious times in terms of the men's 400 meter hurdles. And I hope he continues to run the 400 meters. I'm also hoping to see him do some flat 200 meters, and it wouldn't hurt to see him in a 100 meter hurdle. This is just my personal opinion. I'm no great coach, but clearly the 400 meters flat 4 didn't hurt a Sydney, and it certainly will not hurt him. That's a massive time, people. 44.98, new personal best. His first 400 meter for the entire 2025 season. If not his first, no more than his second. Let's just be kind and say his third. That is huge. That is the way you want to start your season. Massive accomplishment. That bodes well. The lesson for me here is that Roshawn Clarke ready. Yeah, he gonna be a problem. Let's see how the rest of the season pans out. Some of you say sometimes I'm a little bit too optimistic, but just looking at the sheer numbers here, 44.98, first sub 45, first race of the season over flat 4, that's massive for Roshawn Clarke. Okay, so now let's take a gander at Ackeem Blake. 10.06. 10.06. 10.06. That is an insane time. That's his first flat 100 meters for the season, as far as I'm aware. Now, I just told you that Fred Curley opened his season running 10.23. So just do the math. Zarnell Hughes was forced to run a 10.14. Nothing against Zarnell Hughes, Kingston College alum, massive talent, Britain's fastest man in history, over the 100 and the 2. But 10.06 says to me, I am very happy he didn't do world indoors. It says again, the lesson from this is Ackeem Blake is definitely on the right track and heading in the right direction. I've been saying to you for 2 years, this young man is going to be a problem once everything comes together. And 10.06 this early in the season, if he remains healthy, that is serious speed. Now, Toby Amoson's 11.28 is a big deal. Now, it is not anywhere close to her best. I believe her best in the flat 100 meters is, you know what? Let me go check before I say it. Yep, I was right. 11.10 is her personal best in the flat 100 meters. Now, that is a huge deal, and it's one of the reasons why she ran that insane world record. I've said to you repeatedly, one of the reasons I believe so much in Akira Nugent is Akira Nugent, in terms of the flat 100, is the fastest woman in the world in that top 10 in the flat 100. Her PB is 11.09. But 11.10 is not far behind, okay? It's right there. And clearly what Amason is doing is working on that flat speed. To open your season, your first 100 meters, and run a spiffy 11.28 is a big deal. Racers clearly, Glenn knows, what can I say? Clearly knows what they're doing, and she's going to be a handful for our athletes and other athletes should she remain in this trajectory. And if she, of course, keeps her technicalities correct. Finally, Tia Clayton. 23.11, new personal best. First 200 meters for the entire 2025 season. Wow. Shade Williams is an incredible 200 meter runner. And of course, you know, an incredible Barbados' best over the floor. But do not underestimate Shade. Shade is incredible on the flat too. Serious talent. And I saw 3 things in this race that gives me, you know, I beam about Tia and Tina Clayton. One, focus and determination. Tia Clayton, as I've said it in previous videos, is running like a star. She's running like a young lady who knows, and we saw this last year when she made certain statements, but she now knows how good she is. And I'm going to keep telling you, when an athlete knows how good they are and they're able to actually execute, they are trouble for everyone else. But it's a great thing. Her execution at 200 meters was really solid. Of course, there's a lot of room for improvement. But her determination to beat today and running your first 200 meters for the entire season and opening up with a PB of 23.11, that's a massive, massive thing, people. I cannot exaggerate when I say that's a huge deal. The confidence with which she took on Shade is what I see her doing in the 60 and everything else. She knows how good she is at this point. Now, also, as you already know, running the 200 meters only makes you better for the 100. It just does. It's an important part of the process that I had been complaining about for many, many years, that I didn't see a lot of our top tier sprinters running 4s, 2s, and 1s. Really important. I mean, Shelly-Ann Fraser-Price would say she hated running the 200 meters. She said she hated it, but she knows it's important. The 4s are important, the 1s are important. So her setting a PB in her very first race for the 2025 season over the 200 meters of 23.11, it's massive. And I mean, obviously, this will only improve her conditioning, etc. This is a great move by MVP, but they're geniuses over there. They tend to know exactly what they are doing. Finally, the lessons I got from this entire meet, I've been talking about the big civil, etc. We're back. We're back, people. In fact, I think we are ahead of the curve in terms of where we should be at this point. The performances I saw at the Velocity Fest 16 are outstanding performances, And I think a lot of people across the globe will take note. They're not going to be worried, they're not going to be panicked, but they're going to say, okay, all right, yeah, we're back. But this, of course, is my 2 cents. I'd love to hear your thoughts. This one went on a little longer than I anticipated, but I had to give you my full understanding of what I saw there. So, as I said, I think we're back. This is just a sampling of some of the athletes, and then certainly if we're not back, those athletes seem to be back and certainly on their way. Now, don't forget to support us. Check out our printify.com. I'll leave a link in the description below. We sell our Peter Lloyd World merch there if you want to support the channel. Or if you want to support it, you can also join a membership. It is very reasonably priced. Consider that. Or you can just hit the subscribe button, the notion bell, and hit the like button. Remember your royals, kings, and queens. Bless us.